As I fired on one of the twitching bodies, Brock spoke up. "Was this too easy?" "How do you mean?" I said, scanning the room for any additional threats. "They're a violent street gang, but nothing here was reinforced? I don't even think the front door was locked." Brock had always been paranoid, but I wasn't following his logic. "Meaning what?" I said, keeping an eye on the rest of our pack. "I mean, it's not impossible that this could be a..." I heard a gunshot in the distance. I looked over to see why Brock had paused. Trap. The word sprung to mind just as Brock's lifeless body hit the ground. "Captain, respectfully, 4 servicemen died here 30 minutes ago. Would you mind putting out that cigarette?" Liam said. Yavin didn't miss a beat. "They're already dead, son. I don't think they mind." He tried to blow a smoke ring, but it didn't quite work. Liam thought about bashing the captain's head into the nearest wall, but ultimately decided not to. Too much paperwork. He looked around the crime scene again, but he still couldn't make heads or tails of it. Odin was shaking his head as he looked around. "It's all wrong, boss," Odin said. "What do you see?" Liam said. 20 mid-tier criminals couldn't have dropped 4 of our boys, sir. Plus, if everyone here is dead..." I finished his thought. "Then who killed our hound?" The rest of the pack was investigating the hound closest to the back door. I whistled at Dom and Tyree, motioning toward Odin and I. Tyree came right over, but Dom lagged behind. "What's his deal?" I asked Tyree. "He's a bit rattled, boss," Tyree said. I recoiled at that statement. I didn't care how he felt. I'd called him over. "Dom!" I barked. "1 second," he yelled back. "What's his problem?" I asked Tyree. "He thinks they were all killed by the same person," Tyree said. "Based on what?" I said. "Ballistics match across all 4 exit wounds. Sorry, sir, I had to confirm," Dom said, as he finished jogging over. He showed me a tablet with 4 green check marks on it. This was getting worse by the minute. There's a single street thug out there with the skill to drop packs of us? What are the chances of that? Yavin seemed to appear out of nowhere. 0, because it's not a street thug. Captain or not, I was in no mood to play this game with him. "If you have information pertaining to this case, I suggest..." Yavin interrupted me. "Does the name Braxton Doe mean anything to you?" I paused for a second. "What does that have to do with..." Yavin put out his cigarette. "Command believes that Braxton has become a liability to the organization based on..." I walked away and circled back. "You're out of your mind." Dom spoke up, asking, "Does anyone want to tell us who Braxton Doe is?" I said, "My old pack leader." Just as Yavin said, "The one who killed our boys." I glared at Yavin. "You're way out of line here, and you know it. Braxton Doe has 15 years of unblemished..." Yavin seemed disinterested in a fight. I really couldn't care less. Command messaged me about it 10 minutes ago. They want to keep this quiet, so the hounds that found this mess, he pointed around us, are the ones who get to clean it up. The rest of my pack looked to me for a reaction. They were waiting to see if I'd lash out further. I was still debating it. Yavin sighed. "Son, it's a recovery order. You don't need to punch his ticket, you just need to get him to the station." He patted my arm as he walked away. "Best way to prove his innocence, right?" I watched Yavin as I pointed my rifle at another twitching target and pulled the trigger. "That's disgusting," Natasha said. Braxton reinserted his mechanical eye. "Maintenance isn't glamorous." Natasha turned her attention back to her binoculars. "You could at least warn me before you do something like that." "You're right, I could," he said. "Speaking of eyes, do you see anything?" Natasha adjusted a dial. "They're mostly packed up. I took some photos of your buddies. Should be on your tablet." Braxton was reviewing the tablet for any operational info, but he stopped when he saw a picture of Liam. He tapped it and asked, "Can you double confirm this?" Natasha's eyes went pure white as she looked at the tablet. "Confirmed," she said. "Picture is a 99.9% match for Liam Kingsley. Joined the Bloodhounds and..." Braxton didn't need to hear the rest. "Got it. Don't need his life story." Natasha's eyes returned to normal, but not before she rolled them. "Make up your mind, old-timer. Why are we watching them anyway?" Braxton zoomed in on the photo of Liam. He softly chuckled at how much older he seemed. We're watching them because, with a little bit of luck, he stood up and dusted himself off. They'll lead us right to my target. I ran up the stairs, kicked open the door, and saw a man seated at a computer, with his back to me. I yelled at him to show me his hands, but he just kept typing. You should have shot me by now, Braxton said while typing away. You killed them, didn't you? Liam said. Killed who? Braxton replied, looking from screen to screen. They were Bloodhounds. How could you possibly justify something like that? I reminded myself to keep breathing. I was getting too tense. I don't have to justify anything to you, pup, Braxton said, never breaking eye contact with the screens. I shot out one of the 3 screens he was working on. Impulsive. Stupid. My pack would be here in less than a minute after that. I doubt they'll be interested in interrogating Braxton like this. I'm not going to ask you again. Show me your hands, I said. Just a sec, Braxton mumbled under his breath, doing some more rapid typing. This isn't a negotiate. Darkness. I was blind, which didn't make sense since I could see in the dark. I fired as I ran back out the doorway, but the next thing I knew, I was on the ground, gasping for air. I heard footsteps, followed by Braxton yelling, Stop! We got what we came for. Forget him. We're leaving. 2 pairs of footsteps disappeared. At the same time, I heard 3 sets of footsteps rushing up the stairs towards me. It just doesn't make sense, Odin said as I pulled out my IV. If he's already killing Bloodhounds, why wouldn't he just kill you? I rubbed my arm. Recovering or not, I didn't have time to waste. Unless he's not killing Bloodhounds, Odin says. And Command made a mistake, Odin continues. I put my shirt on and start thinking about whether I should go home and change or go straight to our command center. But if he's innocent, why is he running? Odin finished. I finally turned to answer him. It doesn't matter, I said. Odin grimaced. Say again? He said. I picked up the rest of my belongings inside. He had his chance. The committee was right. I could have dropped him, and I didn't. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Odin rubbed his temples. Taking action while your suspension is under review isn't going to help your case, he said. I know, I responded. So, why are we doing this? Odin said. I furrowed my brow. You don't have to follow me, I responded. You're funny. Answer the question, he said. Because something is very wrong here. Command doesn't make mistakes like this. Bloodhounds don't turn on their own, and if there's something bigger going on, I holstered my service weapon. We owe it to those boys to figure that out. You're getting sentimental in your old age, boss, Odin said. We're the same age, Odin, I said, as we walked out of the hospital room.